The guiding song of the flower field, with colorful butterflies in the sun-drenched flower field. There is a special butterfly flying. Its name is Hong Hong. Hong Hong's wings are like crushed rainbows, with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violets spreading out layer by layer. When they flap, they sprinkle shiny powder which lands on the petals like stars. Bees always hum after them, shouting, "Hong Hong is the little guide of the flower field." Its wings are even more beautiful than rainbows. That early morning, the little snail was slowly about to go to the flower field party, but got lost among the pansies. Hong Hong happened to stop on the sunflower to rest. Seeing it slowly spinning in circles, she flew over and said, "Don't panic. Follow my wings." It spread its colorful wings, with the tips of its purple wings facing the direction of the party, singing as it flew. Purple wings point in the direction. Sunflowers are ahead, tilde. Slowly follow the purple wings' guidance and climb. After Hong Hong flies for a while, stop and wait for it. When encountering sharp grass leaves, Hong Hong gently peels them aside with her wings. Seeing the sweet nectar, I picked it up and fed it to gradually replenish my strength. As they were approaching the party venue, the little hedgehog Kuki also got lost. Hong Hong immediately showed off her orange wingtips. Orange is a signal. Keep up, friends. Two little animals followed Hong Hong's colorful wings and finally saw the party greenhouse full of balloons. Bees buzz around their honey jars to greet them, and butterflies dance in circles around Rainbow's wings. Kuki held up a wild fruit and said, "Your colorful wings are more agile than road signs." Slowly shaking his antennae, he chimed in, "It's even more reliable than a compass." When the evening party came to an end, Hong Kong used her red wing tips to light the way home for everyone. And her pink wingtips gently brushed off the grass shavings from her friends' bodies. The moonlight fell on its wings, and the colorful powder sparkled with a gentle light. All the little animals in the flower field know that as long as they see the rainbow-colored wings flying, they will never get lost because it is rainbow spreading warmth.
A record of the forest lights, with colorful mushrooms blooming everywhere after a spring rain. A special mushroom emerged on the clearing in the forest. It was called duodois. The canopy of duodois' umbrella is like a overturned palette, with red, yellow, blue, and pink spreading out in circles. The handle of the umbrella is a tender green, and in the evening, it still gives off a faint light. Little Aunt Guagu always says, "Duoduo is the little lantern of the forest." She is beautiful, and her heart is warmer than the light. That afternoon, the little snail was slowly climbing up the leaves, when suddenly a sun shower began to fall. Duoduo quickly shook the umbrella cover and shouted, "Slowly, come and take shelter from the rain." Slowly climbing under Duoduo's umbrella cover, raindrops slid down the colorful edge of the umbrella without getting a drop on it. Slowly waving her antennae, she said, "Thank you, Duoduo. Your umbrella cover is stronger than a small pavilion." In the afternoon, the little ladybug Dion Dion got lost and was running around in the grass. Duodo immediately lit up her umbrella cover. The red part was particularly eye-catching. "Dion Dion, come in the direction of the red light." Dion Dion followed the light and flew to Duodro's side, circling around the umbrella cover. "Sister Duodro, your color is clearer than a road sign." In the evening, as the sun set, little hedgehog Kuki was still looking for her way home. The forest was getting darker and darker. Duoduo brightened the light, and the colorful light spread over the path, as if a rainbow carpet had been laid out. Kuki ran along the light and soon saw her tree hole. She turned around and shouted, "Thank you, Duadwa. Your light is brighter than the stars." Tight. All the little animals were asleep, but Duadro still shone with a faint light. The firefly flew by and landed on its umbrella cover. "Duadro, why haven't you gone to sleep yet?" Duadro said softly, "I'm afraid that some small animals might get lost at night. It's more reassuring to leave a light on." Fi-Fi, upon hearing this, also turned on its taillights and stayed by its side. The next morning, the sunlight shone on Duadwa, and the color of the umbrella cover became even more vivid. Little Ant Guogo brought sweet dew, and little snails slowly brought tender grass leaves. Everyone gathered around this heartwarming, colorful mushroom. The little animals in the forest all know that wherever Duadro is, there is warm light and they won't get lost.
The little grass guard with a red beetle shell in the dewdrops of grass, there crawled a shiny red beetle. Its name was Shell. The shell of Kick is like a small shield painted red, hard yet shining. Its 6 little legs make a tap-tap sound when running. Even bees praise it. Kick is the most beautiful little guard in the grass. Its red shell is even more eye-catching than a little red flower. One early morning, little Aunt Guago was carrying breadcrumbs by when she was suddenly hit by a big dewdrop and staggered. Kick quickly crawled over and shielded Guago's head with the red shell. "Come in quickly. My shell is stronger than my little umbrella." Dewdrops slid down the shell. Guagua held the breadcrumbs and said, "Thank you, Shell. Your red shell is the best protective umbrella." In the morning, the wings of the little ladybug were stuck by the mucus on the grass leaves, and it turned around in circles in a hurry. Kick had a sudden inspiration. It gently scraped off the mucus with the edge of its shell and then used its little legs to help Dion comb its wings. "Don't panic. I'll clean it up for you." Dion flapped her dry wings and flew up, circling around Shell. "Brother Shell, your shell is even more useful than a small tool." At noon, a little centipede wanted to bully a newly born aphid. Shell immediately raised its red shell and rushed over. With a click, it blocked the centipede's way with its shell and shouted loudly for its friends to come and help. The centipede was so scared that it turned its head and ran away. The little aphids surrounded Shell and bowed. "Thank you, Shell. Your red shell is more imposing than a small shield." In the evening, the setting sun dyed the grass a warm red, and the shells of the shell shone even brighter in the light. Guago brought sweet honey dew, and Tiantian offered delicious grass juice. Everyone surrounded this warm-hearted red beetle. Kick lay on the grass leaf, licking the honey dew and thinking, "No matter how bright the red shell is, it can never compare to the light in one's heart when helping a friend." A slow travelogue of the red snail, red forest in the forest after the rain. There crawled a round red snail. Its name was Hong Hong. The red shell is like a small ball painted with red paint, shining brightly. Its body is soft, and wherever it climbs, it leaves a shiny little mark. Little Aunt Guaguo always says Hong Hong is the little red star of the forest. Its shell is bright, and its heart is softer than the dewdrops after the rain. That early morning, Hong Hong carried her little red shell to explore deep in the forest. It crawled and crawled, passing the earthen slope covered with small blue flowers, and suddenly heard a woo cry. Upon closer inspection, it turned out that the little ladybug Dion had lost its way home and was squatting on a leaf, wiping away tears. Hong Hong slowly crawled over and said gently, Dion, don't be sad. I'll take you to find a home. I remember your home was beside the glowing mushrooms, Tilda. Hong Hong led Diane, walking slowly along the shiny traces she had left behind. It doesn't climb fast, but each step is steady and it stops from time to time to wait for the dots. Passing by the wet mosses, Hong Hong let Diane lie on her red shell and carefully climbed over the slippery stones. When she encountered a small branch blocking her way, Hong Hong pushed hard with her soft body and managed to push through a small path. At noon, as the sun gradually rose higher, they finally saw the glowing mushroom, Dion. Dion's family was anxiously waiting for it. Dion threw herself into her mother's arms and then ran back to rub against Hong Hong's shell. Thank you, Hong Hong. Your red shell is both safe and warm, even more effective than a little lantern. In the evening, Hong Hong climbed home. The setting sun dyed its red shell warm orange. Little Aunt Guaguo brought sweet nectar, and little ladybug Diane delivered a fresh and tender leaf. Everyone gathered around this warm-hearted red snail. Hong Hong chewed the leaves slowly, feeling sweet in her heart. It turns out that walking slowly can also help friends. Such an adventure is more beautiful than any scenery. The heartwarming underground story of the carrot puffing, the sunlight bathed the vegetable garden. Hidden in the soil was a chubby carrot called Dudu. Dudu's body is orange-red as if wrapped in a layer of sunlight. The green leaves on its head are soft and fluffy. Its roots are deep in the soil, absorbing sweet dew. Little Earthworm Ball always says Dudu is the little son of the vegetable garden. It's so cute and has a heart sweeter than honey. That early morning, the team of Little Aunt Guago was trying to carry a big pumpkin seed, but was blocked by a hard soil block. Dudu heard their sighs and quickly swayed its body, gradually loosening the soil with its thin roots and letting the green leaves hang down, as if building a small ladder. Climb along my leaves. There's a path under the soil block. The ants crawled over the clods of soil along the green leaves. Guago waved its antennae and shouted, "Thank you, Dudu. Your roots are more dexterous than a small shovel." In the morning, the sun was getting stronger and stronger. The little ladybug Dion in the vegetable garden was so hot that it was panting on the leaves. Dudu quickly spread out the green leaves like a small green umbrella, blocking the scorching sun. Dion, come and cool off under my leaves. Dion climbed under the green leaves and immediately felt cool. Flapping her wings, she said, "Sister Dudu, your leaves are even more comfortable than the shade of the trees." At noon, a little cricket accidentally fell into a dry ditch and couldn't jump out no matter how hard it tried. When Dudu saw this, it slowly stretched out its roots, like little ropes stretching out, gently wrapping around the little cricket's legs and pulling it up bit by bit. The little cricket stood beside Dudu and rubbed its orange-red body. "Thank you, Dudu. Your roots are stronger than vines." In the afternoon, Grandpa Gardener came to the vegetable garden to water it and found that the small tomato seedlings beside Dudu were a little wilted. Dudu quickly distributed the water she had absorbed to the cherry tomato seedlings through her roots quietly. In no time, the cherry tomato seedlings stood tall and straight, and their green leaves looked vigorous again. Grandpa smiled and stroked the chubby green leaf, saying, "This carrot is so sensible. It's a little hero of the vegetable garden." In the evening, the setting sun dyed the vegetable garden a warm orange color, and the friends gathered around Dut. Guago brought sweet nectar, Diandian presented delicious aphids, ladybugs delicacies, and the little cricket sang for everyone. The green leaves are gently swaying in the wind, making my heart feel warm. It knows that even if it stays in the soil all the time, it can still help its good friends. Such days are happier than inhaling the sweetest dew. The warm and busy village of the yellow puppy Ah Huang, under the old locust tree at the entrance of the village. There was a golden little dog running. Its name was Ah Huang. Ah Huang's fur is like sun-dried corn cobs, feeling warm to the touch. His tail wags like a little yellow flower. When he runs across the stone-paved road, his paws make a dada sound. Even Grandma Zhong at the village entrance praised, "Ah Huang is our village's little blessing. He looks so charming and is even more considerate than our own child." That early morning, Grandma Zhong was drying beans in the yard when she suddenly had to go and deliver something to her neighbor, fearing that chicks would peck at the beans. Oh Huang immediately squatted down beside the drying tray, pricked up his ears, and whenever a chick approached, he would give a soft woof sound to scare it away. When Grandma Zhong came back, not a single bean was missing. She patted Ah Huang's head and smiled. "My Ah Huang is really a master at guarding the house." In the morning, Dodo, a little boy in the village, was chasing butterflies on the ridge of the field. He accidentally fell and cried, with mud on his knees. Ah Huang hurried over, rubbed Dodo's face with his soft fur, and then picked up a clean leaf and gently placed it on Dodo's knee. Dudu touched Ah Huang's back and immediately stopped crying, pulling its paws to look for the butterfly together. At noon, when Grandpa Li, who was herding sheep, was counting the flock, he found that a little lamb was missing. Ah Huang sniffed the lamb's wool and immediately ran towards the riverbank, following the smell. It barked woof woof in the reeds. Grandpa Li hurried over and, indeed, saw the lamb stuck in a crevice of a rock. After rescuing the lamb, Grandpa Li handed a bone of meat to Ah Huang and said, "Ah Huang's nose is more agile than that of a hunting dog." In the afternoon, the sky suddenly turned overcast and it was going to rain. Ah Huang ran to the doors of several households, drying clothes, and barked at them, reminding everyone to put away their clothes. The villagers hurried out to collect their clothes. Just as they finished, raindrops began to fall. Everyone laughed and said, "Thanks to this weather forecast dog, Ah Huang." In the evening, Ah Huang sat at the village entrance. Dodo brought him steamed bun crumbs, Grandpa Lee brought meat bones, and Grandma Zhong brought warm rice soup. Ah Huang licked the rice soup, wagging his tail non-stop, and his golden fur shone in the setting sun. It knows that as soon as the sun comes up tomorrow, it will still be the busiest little warm dog in the village, guarding every warm home. The underwater friend search of the big-eyed fish Liang Liang in the shallow blue sea. There swims a cute big-eyed fish. Its name is Liang Liang. Liang Liang's body is a bright silver-grey color. What makes her most distinctive is her pair of big round eyes, like two shiny black grapes, which can clearly see the movements in the distance at the bottom of the sea. The fish mother always says Liang Liang is a little scout at the bottom of the sea. Her eyes are bright and her heart is even warmer. That early morning, little seahorse Dion got lost and was pacing round anxiously among the seaweed. Liang Liang swam over, his big eyes rolling, and immediately spotted Dion's familiar coral reef home in the distance. Dion, follow me. I know where your home is. It led Dion through the seaweed maze and soon reached the coral reef. Dion wagged her little tail and said, "Thank you, Liang Liang. Your eyes are more useful than a compass. I'm finally home." In the morning, the little hermit crab Bibi wanted to find a smooth, small stone to sharpen its pincers, but she couldn't find it after searching for a long time. Liang Liang blinked his big eyes and swept into the sand pile at the bottom of the sea. Then he found the round pebbles hidden beside the shells. "Bibi, there are the pebbles you want over there." Bibi climbed over to pick up the pebbles and happily sharpened her pliers. "Thank you, Liang Liang. Your eyes are sharper than a magnifying glass. Pebbles are just perfect." At noon, little starfish Xing Xing accidentally fell into a shallow sand pit and couldn't climb out by himself. Liang Liang saw the struggling star from afar. He quickly swam over and gently pushed the side of the star with his tail. "Star, I'll help you climb out." The star slowly crawled out of the sand pit along the thrust, waving its antennae and saying, "Thank you, Liang. Your eyes are so amazing and you're so warm-hearted." In the afternoon, the little girl Duadwo from the neighbor's house came to the seaside for snorkeling, hoping to see the colorful shells at the bottom of the sea, but she just couldn't find them. Liang Liang saw it, his big eyes fixed on the pile of shells at the bottom of the sea, and then led the way in front, guiding Duodwo to the place with the most shells. Duodwo saw the colorful shells all over the ground through her diving goggles and waved at Liang Liang with a smile. "Liang Liang, you are really my little guide. The shells are so beautiful." In the evening, the bottom of the sea suddenly darkened. The little shrimp Meng Meng was afraid of the dark and dared not swim. Liang Liang quickly swam to Meng Meng's side, her big eyes wide open, like two little lanterns lighting up the way ahead. "Meng Meng, don't be afraid. I'll be with you." Meng Meng followed the bright light and looked for food with peace of mind. "Thank you, Liang Liang. Your eyes are brighter than little lanterns. You are no longer afraid of the dark." The setting sun dyed the sea surface a warm red. The underwater friends gathered around Liang Liang and held a small sharing session. Diandian brought tender seaweed sprouts, Bibe brought fresh plankton, and Duodwo scattered fish food through the water surface. Liang Liang swam in the middle, its big eyes shining in the setting sun. It said, "I'm the happiest when I can help everyone with my big eyes." Motherfish smiled and said, "Bright eyes are bright, but a heart that is willing to help others is even more precious." When the moon rises, its moonlight spills into the ocean floor, and its bright big eyes are like two night pearls. Because of the big-eyed fish, Liang Lang, this small shallow sea has become more peaceful and lively. Such days are more dazzling than the colorful shells at the bottom of the sea and more blissful than the bright eyes. The sweet tale of pink butterflies fluttering among the flowers on the meadow full of blooming flowers. There is a delicate pink butterfly flying. Its name is Pian Pian. The fluttering wings are like pink silk sprinkled with bright powder with faint patterns printed on them. When they fly, they flap their wings with a rustling sound, as if dancing a light and graceful dance. Mother Bee always says, "Pian Pian is a little fairy in the flower beds, beautiful in appearance and kind-hearted. Wherever she goes, she brings warmth." That early morning, little Aunt Guago led her team to carry sugar grains, but was blocked by a small slope. When Pian Pian saw this, she quickly landed on the wildflower beside the slope, gently fanned the ants with her wings to disperse the heat around them and guided them to take the gentle path. "Guago, it's easier to go this way." The little ants followed the guidance and climbed up the slope. Guagu waved its antennae and said, "Thank you, Pian Pian. Your wings are more useful than a small fan. The road is indeed much easier to walk on." In the morning, the sun was slowly rising. Little ladybug Dion was lying on the petal, almost suffering from heat stroke. Pian Pian quickly flew onto a large sunflower petal, spread its pink wings to block the sunlight as if holding up a tender pink umbrella. "Diandian, come and hide here." Dion climbed into the shade. The cool breeze carried the fragrance of flowers, and she immediately perked up. "Sister Pian Pian, your wings are even more comfortable than the shade of leaves, and there's also a sweet floral scent." At noon, the little bee buzzed but couldn't find a good flower bed for nectar collection, and was so anxious that it was spinning round in place. Pian Pian remembered the rose garden not far away and quickly led Weng Weng to fly over there. From time to time, she would turn her head and shout, "Follow me. There's a lot of nectar there." Buzzing gathered sweet nectar and bowed to Pian Pian, saying, "Thank you, Pian Pian. You are such a reliable little guide. The nectar is so sweet." In the afternoon, the little girl Duardwo from the neighbor's house came for a picnic on the grassland. As soon as she saw the pink Pian Pian, her eyes lit up. "Wow, this butterfly is so beautiful, like a little pink petal." Duardwa gently put down a small piece of honey cake, which landed gracefully beside her. Her wings flapped slightly as if expressing gratitude, and she flew around Duardwa twice, dancing a graceful dance. In the evening, dark clouds drifted from the sky and it seemed that it was about to rain. Pian Pian recalled the little cricket lily hiding under the grass leaves. Its little nest had no cover. Pian Pian quickly picked up a few soft petals and spread them on the top of Lele's nest, then gently fixed them with spider silk to form a small rain shelter. When the raindrops tick-tock fell, Lely was singing in the shed, "Thank you, Pian Pian. Your small shed works better than leaves. I'm not wet at all." The setting sun dyed the grassland a warm pink. The friends gathered around the flower beds and held a small sharing session. Guagu brought sugar grains, Diandian shared nectar, and Duadwo brought sweet nectar water. It landed gracefully on the petals, its wings shining gently in the setting sun. It said, "I'm the happiest to be able to help everyone." The mother bee smiled and said, "The fluttering pink wings are beautiful, but the heart that is willing to help others is even more precious." When the moon rises, it gracefully lands on the flower stems. Listening to the whispers in the grass, my heart is filled with sweetness. Because of the fluttering pink butterflies, this small meadow has become more lively and warmer. Such days are more pleasant than sweet nectar and more charming than tender pink wings. The heartwarming story of little dear Ling Ling in the forest, in the lush green forest. There is a nimble little deer hopping around. Its name is Ling Ling. Ling Ling's fur is light brown with tiny white spots, like scattered moonlight. Her long legs are slender and powerful, and she runs like a gust of wind. The small horns on her head are soft, and her eyes are like shiny black grapes. Mother Rabbit always says Ling Ling is a little messenger in the forest. She runs fast and has a good heart. Her friends all love to ask her for help. That early morning, the pine cones of little squirrel Taodao were blown to the edge of the cliff by the wind, and she did undare to pick them up. Ling Ling heard the shout and rushed over, standing carefully on the edge of the cliff. She reached for the pine cone with her long neck and gently brought it back. "Tao Tao, don't worry. Here you are." Tao Tao held a pine cone and said, "Thank you, Ling Ling. Your neck is more useful than a small hook. It's great that you didn't throw the pine cone." In the morning, the sun made the forest warm. Little hedgehog Kuki couldn't find any water to drink and was panting on a stone. Ling Ling remembered the mountain spring not far away and quickly led Kuki to run over there, constantly looking back to wait for it. "Hurry up and catch up. There's water ahead." Kuki drank the cool spring water and immediately perked up. She bent over and said, "Thank you, Ling Ling. You are such a reliable little guide. The spring water is so sweet." At noon, little Aunt Guago led her team to carry breadcrumbs, but was blocked by a small stream. Ling Ling quickly found a big leaf and placed it over the stream to build a leaf bridge. "Guago, come along the bridge." The little ants walked steadily in a line. Guagu waved its antennae and said, "Thank you, Ling Ling. Your method is even more ingenious than the small wooden board. How smart you are." In the afternoon, the little girl, Duadwo from the neighbor's house, came to the forest for an adventure. She got lost and was so anxious that she almost cried. Ling Ling saw this and gently rubbed Duadwa's palm. Then she ran slowly ahead, turning back from time to call out Yo-Yo. Duartwo followed Ling Ling and soon walked out of the forest. She patted Ling Ling's back and said, "Ling Ling, you are such a gentle companion. I feel so at ease with you around." In the evening, dark clouds drifted from the sky and it seemed that it was about to rain. Ling Ling saw a group of little crickets hiding under the grass leaves. She quickly ran to a big tree, used her body to shield them from the wind and rain, and even brought a few leaves to help them strengthen their nest. When the raindrops tick-tock fell, the little crickets were singing in their nests. "Thank you, Ling Ling. Your body is stronger than a leaf shed. We haven't got wet at all." The setting sun dyed the forest a golden red. The friends gathered around Ling Ling and held a small sharing session. Tao Tao brought pine cones, Kuki brought wild fruits, and Duodwo brought sweet carrots. Ling Ling lowered her head and nibbled on a carrot. Her long ears swayed gently, and her heart felt warm. Mother Rabbit smiled and said, "Ling Ling's running posture is nimble, but her heart of being willing to help others is even more precious." When the moon rose, Ling Ling stood in the forest like a gentle shadow. Because of the little dear Ling Ling, this small forest has become warmer and more lively. Such days are more pleasant than sweet spring water and make people feel happier than a light running posture. Little Wooden Horse Dada Dai's Room Companion notes. In the corner of the little boy Dodo's room, there was a small brown wooden horse. Dudu named it Dada. Dada's body is made of smooth wood, and a faint wood grain can still be seen on it, as if it were wearing a small coat with patterns. Its 4 short wooden legs stand steadily on the ground. There is a small red bell tied around its neck. When it is shaken, it will make a dingling, dingling sound. The cutest part is its little head, which is painted with a pair of round black eyes, as if it is always smiling at Dodo. Dudu has had Dada since she was 3 years old. Whether happy or sad, she would run to Dada's side and ride on its back, swaying back and back. That early morning, Dodo was a little unhappy as soon as he woke up. His mother said he was going to get an injection today. Just thinking about the needle made him a little scared. He sat by the bedside, pout his lips, and didn't even want to touch his favorite dinosaur toy. The Dada in the corner seemed to have read Dodo's mind. When Dodo walked over, the little bell around its neck suddenly shook slightly, making a jingling sound, as if greeting. Dudu squatted down, touched the smooth wooden body, and suddenly wanted to try riding it. He climbed onto Dada's back, grabbed its neck with both hands, and with a gentle force, Dada began to shake back and forth. The bell followed the jingle-jingle sound, as if saying, "Don't be afraid, I'll play with you." After swaying for a while, Dodo's lips gradually curled up. "Thank you so much, Da-da-da. Riding on your back, I don't seem so afraid of getting injections anymore." In the morning, Dodo's good friend Lele came to play at home. The two of them wanted to play the game night adventure, but they couldn't find a suitable horse after searching for a long time. Lele's saw the Dada in the corner and his eyes lit up at once. Dodo, let's ride the Dada as knights. It also has a little bell. It must be particularly imposing. Dudu nodded. The two of them took turns riding on Dada's back, one as the knight and the other as the guide. Dada's bell kept ringing jingle jingle, as if singing along with their laughter, when they were tired from playing. The two still sat beside Dada and told it the story of the knight defeating the dragon. Lele also said Dada must be the bravest warhorse, even more powerful than the horses in the story. Dada's black eyes seemed even brighter as she listened quietly to their story. At noon, Mum was making lunch in the kitchen and asked Dodo to tidy up the toys in the room. Dudu was halfway through tidying up when he suddenly wanted to find a comfortable home for Dada. Dada had always been placed on the floor in the corner before, and he felt it was a bit cold. Dudu found her own small blanket and laid it under Dada. She also placed her favorite dinosaur doll beside Dada, as if she had found a companion for it. Mum came in and saw it. She smiled and patted Dodo's head, saying, "Our Dodo is so considerate. They even know to lay a blanket for Doda. Dada must be very happy." Dudu lay beside Dada, listening to the sound of stir-frying in the kitchen, feeling warm in her heart. In the afternoon, it suddenly started to drizzle. Dudu couldn't go out to play and felt a bit listless. He sat on Dada's back, swaying and swaying. Suddenly, he remembered the time when he and his parents went to the park to ride the big wooden horse. Before he pointed at Dada's eyes and said, "Dada, do you know, last time I went to the park, the big wooden horse was much taller than you, but I still thought you were the cutest because you were always in my room with me." Saying that, he gently patted Dada's body. Dada's bell rang again with a jingle, as if responding to him. Dudu just rode the Dada for the whole afternoon and made up many adventure stories about the little wooden horse Dada. She didn't feel bored at all. In the evening, the setting sun dyed the room orange-red. Dudu spread the drawing paper on the ground, wanting to draw a picture for Dada. He carefully drew the wood grain of Dada, the red bell, and the round black eyes. After finishing, he also drew a small self beside Dada, riding on its back and holding a small sword in his hand. Dudu stuck the picture on the wall beside Dada and said to Dada, "Dada, look. From now on, you and my paintings will accompany me. We will always be good friends." When the moon rose, Dodo lay on the small bed, looking at Dada in the corner. Its figure was quiet under the moonlight, as if it were also taking a rest. The room was quiet, with only the sound of rain outside the window and the occasional gentle tapping of bells in the wind. Because of the tapping, this small room became more and more lively and warm. Such days were more enjoyable than going to the park and louder than the red bells. The soft little earthworm's guardian story of the vegetable garden in Grandma's vegetable garden. There is a little underground hero hidden, a soft earthworm, which everyone calls Ruin Ruin. He was dressed in a dark, brown, tight-fitting suit, his body slippery and without limbs, yet he could nimbly crawl in and out of the soil, leaving narrow channels as if weaving a breathable small net for the soil. During the day, Ruan Ruan hides in the soil, and only at night does she quietly stick her head out to look at the stars in the vegetable garden. Grandma always says, with Ruan Ruan around, our vegetables can grow lush and green. At first, the little ants and ladybugs in the vegetable garden were a little afraid of him, thinking he looked strange, until a few minor incidents occurred. That early morning, the leaves of the little green vegetables planted by Grandma were a bit wilted, and the soil was so hard that not even rainwater could seep in. Soft, who had been hiding in the soil, sensed it and quickly scurried around beside the roots of the green vegetables. Wherever his body had crawled, the hard soil gradually became soft, leaving tiny holes that allowed air and moisture to seep in. It wasn't long before the little green vegetables gradually unfurled their leaves and turned lush green. Little Aunt Guagu passed by the green vegetables and saw Ruan Ruan in the soil. For the first time, she took the initiative to greet them. Ruan Ruan, so you are helping the green vegetables loosen the soil. No wonder the green vegetables look so energetic again. You're even more amazing than the little shovel. Soft poked its head out of the soil and gently swayed its body, as if saying, "This is what I should do." In the morning, as the sun gradually rose, little ladybug Dion was playing in the vegetable garden when she accidentally dropped her favorite red bead into the soil. It was a gift from her little owner, Duo Dion. Dion was so anxious that she rummaged through the soil but could not find it no matter how hard she tried. When Guagu saw this, he quickly went to ask Ruan Ruan for help. Ruan Ruan, the little bead has fallen into the soil. Can you help it look for it? Ruan Ruan immediately got up at the spot where the beads had dropped. His body could feel the tiny hard objects in the soil. In no time, he pushed the small beads to the ground. Dion saw Ju, Z, and happily lay down beside Ruan Ruan. Thank you, Ruan Ruan. Your body is more sensitive than my little claws. I've finally found the pearl. From then on, the friends in the vegetable garden no longer found Ruan Ruan strange, and always came to play with him. At noon, Duo came to the vegetable garden to observe the nature work. She squatted on the ground, wanting to see if there were any small creatures in the soil. Grandma pointed at the soft earthworm in the soil and whispered to Duo, look. This is the soft earthworm. It's a little hero in the vegetable garden. It can help the soil become fertile and make the vegetables grow better. Duo gently held Ruan Ruan in her palm. Ruan Ruan wasn't afraid at all and was still slowly crawling in her palm. Duo smiled and said, Ruan Ruan is so cute. I didn't know earthworms were so powerful. I'm going to draw them in my homework. She took out a drawing paper and carefully drew the image of Ruan Ruan bursling in the soil. She also drew green vegetables beside it and marked Little Hero of the Vegetable Garden Earthworm Ruan Ruan. In the afternoon, dark clouds suddenly drifted from the sky, and it seemed that it was about to rain. Soft thought of the little snail in the corner of the vegetable garden. Slowly, its shell was a little cracked. Fearing that it would be washed into the deep soil by the rain, Ruan quickly climbed to Mung Mang's side and used her body to dig a small pit around Mung Mang. Then she pushed the fallen leaves beside her to the edge of the pit, as if she had built a small house for Mung Mang. When the rain started, I slowly hid in a pit and wasn't washed away at all. After the rain stopped, I slowly climbed to Ruan's side and said, "Thank you, Ruan. Your pit is safer than my shell. I'm not afraid of the rain anymore." I shook my body gently and looked at the vegetable garden after the rain, together with Mungman. The air was filled with the fresh fragrance of the earth. In the evening, the setting sun dyed the vegetable garden orange red. Duarduo showed her grandma the homework she had drawn and deliberately pointed out the soft parts to her grandma. Grandma smiled and picked a sweet strawberry for Duarduo and also left a small piece for Ruan to put in the soil that was Ruan's favorite food. The friends in the vegetable garden gathered around Ruan. Guaguo shared the breadcrumbs she had found, and Diandian showed off the small beads she had lost and found again. They slowly lay down beside her to bask in the sun. Everyone was very happy. Soft lay in the soft soil, feeling that although she was unremarkable, she could help the green vegetables grow, find small beads, and build rain shelters. It was much more interesting than just crawling round in the soil. When the moon rose, Soft slowly sank into the soil, getting ready to rest. The vegetable garden is quiet, with only the rustling sound of the evening breeze brushing against the vegetable leaves. Thanks to Ruan, this small vegetable garden has become increasingly fertile and lively. Ruan knew that when the sun rose tomorrow, he could continue to loosen the soil in the vegetable garden and play with his friends. Such days were sweeter than the food in the soil and more comfortable than the soft soil. The little blue-winged bees' shining record among the blue flowers in the lavender field on the outskirts. Their lives a group of busy little bees. Among them, the most special one is a little bee with blue wings. Everyone calls her Lanlan. Her body was a warm golden yellow, as fluffy as other bees, but her wings were like two transparent sapphires. When sunlight shone on them, they reflected a faint blue light. Even when she was flying, it seemed as if she was carrying two small blue light bands. When Lanlan was gathering nectar, she was particularly serious. She could even guide the way among the flowers with the blue light from her wings. Her friends in the flower field all called her Shining Little Guide. That early morning, Lanlan had just covered a lavender flower with pollen when she heard a buzzing sound of anxiety. It was the buzzing of a little bee. It had been learning to collect honey from its mother yesterday and accidentally got lost deep in the flower field. It wandered all night but couldn't find the beehive, and its wings were almost too weak to fly. Lanlan hurriedly flew over, deliberately flapping her blue wings to make the blue light brighter. "Buzz, don't panic. Follow my blue light and I'll take you back to the beehive." She slowed down her flight, keeping the blue light on her wings always within the buzzing range, flying over one lavender patch after another. Before long, the shadow of the beehive in the distance appeared, buzzing excitedly to catch up with Mum and then turning back to wave its antennae at Lanlan. "Thank you, Lanlan. Your blue wings are like little street lamps. Following you, I won't get lost at all." In the morning, the sun was slowly rising. In the flower field, a little butterfly named Hua Hua was chasing a colorful little beetle. While chasing, it flew to a small soil slope at the edge of the flower field. There were thorny thiothrips growing on the slope. Hua Hua's wings were accidentally caught by the thorns, and she could unbreak them no matter how hard she tried. She was so anxious that tears were about to come out. Lan passed by while gathering nectar and saw Hua Hua trapped. She quickly flew over, gently touched the thorns of the thistle with her furry body, and then carefully removed Hua Hua's wings from the thorns with her claws. Hua Hua spread her wings and saw the blue light on Lan's wings. She immediately forgot her sadness and said, "Lan, your wings are so beautiful, even brighter than my colorful wings, and so amazing. Thank you." Lan smiled and flew back to the center of the flower field with Hua, and also helped her find her favorite sunflower. At noon, the little girl Duo from the neighbor's house came to the flower field to do some sketching. She wanted to draw a glowing little bee, but after drawing several ordinary bees, she felt that none of them were special enough. It was not until I saw Lanlan. She was flapping her blue wings and flying among the lavender. The blue light and the purple lavender combined together like a scene from a painting. Duadro quickly picked up the paintbrush and began to draw on Lanlan, deliberately making the blue light of the wings shine brightly. After finishing the drawing, Duadwa held up the drawing paper and ran after Lanlan. "Lanlan, look, I've drawn your blue wings. From now on, I'll draw every day, okay?" Lanlan flew twice above Duadwa's drawing paper, and the blue light on her wings flickered, as if nodding in agreement. In the afternoon, dark clouds suddenly drifted from the sky, and it seemed that it was about to rain. Lanlan recalled the little ladybug Diandian living under the dandelion bush in the corner of the flower field. Its back shell was cracked a little by the wind yesterday, and it was afraid of getting wet by the rain. Lanlan hurriedly flew over and gently covered Dion's back shell with her blue wings, although her wings were thin. They could block the small raindrops. Dion hid under her wings and shook the spot at Lanlan. "Thank you, Lanlan. Your wings are like small umbrellas with a blue light, not black at all. I'm not afraid anymore." Hardly had she finished speaking when raindrops began to fall with a drip, drip sound. It wasn't until the rain lessened that Lanlan, along with the dots, flew to the sunflower heads nearby to take shelter from the rain. In the evening, the setting sun dyed the flower field an orange-red color. The blue wings under the setting sun were bathed in an additional layer of warm light, like two shining orange and blue gemstones. She flew back to the beehive with a full honey sac and told the other bees the location of the nectar source she had found today. Because her blue wings were conspicuous, everyone followed her to find the nectar source very quickly. Duo also came. She brought Lanlan a small piece of sweet honey biscuit and placed it beside the beehive. Lanum, you helped many friends today. This biscuit is a reward for you. Lanlan lay beside the biscuit, took a bite, and felt sweeter than nectar in her heart. When the moon rose, Lanlan lay in the beehive, her wings gently folded at her sides. Occasionally, when she flapped them, a faint blue light would flash. The flower field is quiet, with only the rustling sound of the evening breeze blowing over the lavender. But because of Lanlan, this flower field is becoming more and more lively and warm. Lanlan knew that when the sun rose tomorrow, she could spread her blue wings again and continue to help her friends find their way, shelter from the rain, and act as a guide. Such days were sweeter than sweet nectar and more beautiful than blue wings.
The Blue Little Fish's Adventure in the Blue Stream. In the small stream at the edge of the village lived a very special little fish, which everyone called Lanlan. Her scales seemed to have been dyed by the blue sky of the brook, a bright and clear deep blue. When the sunlight filtered through the water and fell on her, the scales would reflect fine, fragmented light, as if a handful of little blue stars had been scattered. Lanlan's tail is thin and big. When swimming, it can swim a long distance with just a gentle swing. It can also nimbly weave through the watergrass and crevices of rocks. The friends in the stream all say, "Follow Lanlan, and you'll never get lost." The day early in the morning, light blue just catch up a little in the crook of aquatic plants, Daphnia for breakfast. I heard, "Whoops," is quietly cry. Little shrimp Lily. It follow Mom to get food downstream yesterday, accidentally separated by water, turned along while in water, even can't distinguish the direction of the upstream. Small must are falling down. Lanlan hurriedly swam over, deliberately leaving her body a little above the water surface to make her deep blue scales more conspicuous in the sunlight. "Lele, don't worry. Follow my blue figure and I'll take you to find your mom." She slowed down so that Lele could always see her blue scales and deliberately avoided the rapid current, swimming along the most stable water layer. It wasn't long before the call of the shrimp mother came from afar. Lele threw herself into her mother's arms and turned back to greet Lanlan, saying, "Thank you, Lanlan. Your blue scales are like little signposts. Following you, I won't get lost at all." In the morning, as the sun gradually rose, the water temperature in the stream became warm. The little crab was looking for snails in the crevice of the stone with his pincers, but his big pincers couldn't turn well in the water and got stuck in the crevice of the stone, unable to be pulled out. He was so anxious that he was shaking his pincers with a click-click sound. Lanlan swam past and saw it. She quickly found a soft water plant and pushed it to Qianqian's pincers with her tail. "Qianqian, don't panic. Place watergrass between the pliers and the stone and pull it out slowly." Qianqian did as Lanlan said and indeed pulled out the pliers smoothly. He crawled over sideways and waved his pincers at Lanlan, saying, "Thank you, Lanlan. Your method works even better than my little paws. I can finally keep looking for snails." Lanlan also took Qianqian to a shallow water area with the most snails, and the two of them shared the delicious snail meat together. At noon, Duo, a little girl by the stream, came to sketch by the stream. She wanted to draw the most beautiful stream fish, but after looking at several small gray fish, she felt that none of them were special enough. It was not until I saw Lanlan, she was fanning her blue tail and swimming among the water plants, with the blue scales and green water plants blending together like a scene from a painting. Duoduo quickly picked up the paintbrush and began to draw against Lanlin, deliberately making the blue light of the scales shine brightly. After finishing the drawing, Duoduo held up the drawing paper and shouted to the stream, "Lanlin, look! I've drawn your blue scales! So beautiful!" Lanlin seemed to understand. She swam in a circle on the water surface in front of Duoduo. Her blue figure swayed back and forth as if performing for her. In the afternoon, dark clouds suddenly drifted over the sky. From the upper reaches of the stream came the whoosh-whoosh sound of water flowing. It was the muddy water washed down by the heavy rain, about to flow into the shallow water area downstream. Lanlin knew that in the shallow water area, there were newly hatched baby fish. If they were choked by the muddy water, it would be a disaster. She quickly swam to the shallow water area, wagging her tail at the little fish fry, this was their way of reminding them, and led them to swim into the deep water area. The water flow in the deep water area was more stable and less likely to be affected by muddy water. Just as the little fish fry were brought to a safe area, the muddy water flowed into the shallow water. The little fish fry wagged their tails at Lanlin, as if saying, "Thank you, Lanlin." In the evening, the setting sun dyed the brook orange-red. The blue and deep blue scales under the setting sun seemed to have an additional layer of warm light, like a little fish that could glow with orange and blue stripes. She led Lele, Chianqian, and the little fish fry to play hide-and-seek in the water grass. Lanlin hid in the green water grass, but her blue scales were too conspicuous, and everyone could find her at once. Every time they found her, they would smile very happily. Duoduo didn't leave either. She sat by the stream watching them play and even broke off a little of her small bread and threw it into the water for Lanlan's dinner. When the moon rose, Lanlan was still swimming slowly in the stream. Her blue figure under the moonlight was like a moving sapphire. Occasionally, she would touch the water plants beside her with her tail, as if whispering to them. The brook is quiet, with only the whoosh-whoosh sound of the water flowing over the stones. Because of Lanlan, this small brook has become more and more lively and warm. Such days are sweeter than the delicious little water fleas and more beautiful than the deep blue scales.